Hey, what is up guys? Guitar here. Welcome back to another Blue Archive video. So if you guys are not aware, the collab Railgun is coming this week. Alright, so we have a Blue Archive collaboration with Railgun, and a lot of you guys probably are wondering if these characters are worth pulling and how strong they are for you entirely. Alright, is it going to be future proof in terms of where you can use them, which areas that you can basically benefit from them, and you know, basically try to give my opinion regarding the pool value. Now the Railgun collab is going to feature 3 characters. We have one free character which is Satan Ruiko. So this is going to be the welfare character, so everybody will be able to obtain her during this collab. Alright, so make sure if you guys are playing the game or if you guys are a returning player, play diligently throughout the event. You basically get her from the first story usually, right? So 1-star welfare character, make sure you guys do not miss out. Now, since she's free, I won't be focusing on her too much. I'll be focusing on the other 2 characters that you can basically obtain via the pools, via the pyroxenes, you know, gacha system. As you can see, the first one is going to be Misaki Mikoto. So she is going to be the main character in Railgun. Pickup recruitment, as you can see, unique. That means, you know, collab characters, you know, they don't really rerun in Blue Archive as far as I know, because Hatsune Miku has never made a comeback ever since, alongside with one more character, Shokuho Misaki. So Misaki and Mikoto. So you gotta decide which one is going to be better for you. If you can only pick one, ideally you want to go all in on one of it. Hopefully you get one and then, you know, you pity or you use the spark for the other one. But sometimes, you know, if you can only pick one, which one is going to be better for your account? So let's talk about this. This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. Now if you guys are not aware already, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako are both an authentic snack box exclusively from Japan. Now let's talk about Tokyo Treat first. Tokyo Treat is a monthly pop Japanese snack box where you will get up to 20 of the exclusive limited edition and of course seasonal flavored Japanese snacks, including Japanese instant ramen and drinks. They are only available in Japan for a limited time. Now this month's Tokyo Treat's theme is going to be Ninja Snack Venture. Now I'm a big fan of ninjas in general, and looking at this month's theme just gives me a burst of joy. Now you get to adventure into Japan's most elusive and mysterious world of ninjas and basically ninja foods and snacks, right? Now as you can see, this month's Tokyo Treat box is packed with full of sneaky surprises of savory and sweet ninja inspired treats. And some of the snacks include the Kit Kat chocolate orange, the spicy ramen noodles, katana candy salt, wow, this thing is pretty big, strawberry dorayaki, and of course the gold Nebuta fresh apple juice. Now Sakurako on the other hand is a monthly Japanese artisan snack box that supports local Japanese snack makers, and each box comes with 20 traditional, authentic and artisan Japanese snacks, including Japanese teas and also a special Japanese tableware. Now this month's Sakurako theme is going to be flavors of Hakone. It is inspired by the tranquil lake shores and therapeutic waters of Hakone, which takes place in Kanagawa's breathtaking natural beauty, and you get to indulge in the authentic local flavors that reflect the region's rich culinary heritage. Now some of the snacks for this month in Sakurako's box includes the matcha konjac warabi mochi, the white miso financier, Yokohama chocolate crunch, strawberry milk almonds, and many more. Also, it all pairs perfectly well with the Hakone Story Ryokucha green tea. This month's tableware item is going to be the Marquet Tree Plate. Now if you guys are interested to purchase either the Tokyo Treat box or the Sakurako box, feel free to use my referral link in the description below, and make sure to use the coupon code GUITARROCK for $5 off. Big shout out to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump into the video. Now let's focus on Misaki Mikoto first. Mikoto is a penetration type on her attack, alright, and then on her armor is going to be heavy. So she's strictly a yellow, similar to Yori, alright. We're going to compare a little bit with Yori later on, but you can see right now, her ability revolves around dealing damage to enemies in a straight line. So she can do up to 1034% of damage to enemies in a straight line. Her animation is pretty cool, not gonna lie. The chibi explosive basically is probably one of the coolest ones in the entire game. She is a 3-cost AoE unit, and her AoE is gonna be straight line, somewhat of a, I wouldn't say it's a very thick line, it is like a medium sized line, right? Now her normal skill, every 50 seconds she will be able to do 228% damage to enemies within a circular area. So she can also apply a continuous electric shock damage for up to 40 seconds. Now this is like a decent normal skill right here. The passive skill is going to increase her accuracy, and this basically ignores Misaki's confusion effect, which is very interesting. Now this is only useful in PvP, right? So if you face Misaki, which is the other character that we just talked about, this character right here, so she has a confusion skill that can confuse NPCs usually, right? Mikoto basically will be able to somewhat ignore that. Kind of cool, but I don't think they are like insanely good in PvP anyways. So one more is going to be the sub skill. Now when normal skill is activated, this is going to be for this one, increase attack by 21% for 40 seconds. So far, not bad. Not the best character, but not the worst one either. So let's give you guys a little bit of point of comparison. So let's compare with Yori right here. So as you can see, Yori right here is also going to be a 3-cost damage dealer, right? But Yori fires 3 shots, with each shot dealing 666% attack power. Now why am I comparing with Yori is because number 1, same typing, number 2, both are 3 costs. Yori is going to be, I would say, the staple for a lot of players. If you have been playing since day 1, like there's a chance that you have Yori in your account. Plus, she is farmable. Now you can see, when I compare to Yori, Mikoto doesn't seem that impressive, alright? Even if you look right here in her stats, this is where you can start to see some issue, right? So if I max out the stats right here, using this wiki, you can see her attack goes up to 5,800. So let's compare to Yori side by side. Yori is 7,800. Yori has 2k more attack. If I look at crit rate and crit damage, so 1.2k crit rate, 2.6k crit damage. Yori has 700, crit rate slightly lesser, but 4,600 crit damage. So Yori will be able to do more damage than her. So what does she bring to the table that's like new, right? Pretty much nothing. I'm going to be honest with you. Now that doesn't mean that she's a bad character. It's just that as an AoE character, she probably competes with Yori, and I believe every single player probably has this other character, which is Nonomi. Because Nonomi is a 5-cost character, but everyone probably has her. She's a 5-cost and she can do pretty big AoE as well. Now if you want more AoE character, Cherino can also fit that role. She's going to be a purely very strong AoE character that also gives you cost regen. And then also we have Momoi. Alright, she's a 2-star. You know, everyone should have access to her. She's going to be pretty decent without Midori as well. She's probably one of the better character if you are looking to start the game out. Pushing story, she's going to be pretty good right there. So you can see there's a lot of options that, you know, Mikoto is competing with, so it does make it hard to recommend her as a whole, alright? I do think that she's very cool, and if you are a collector, you're strictly trying to collect students, then sure, her value is there, right? But if you're looking at her in the meta right now, compared to a lot of other characters, she doesn't particularly shine or excel in a certain way. All in all, I don't think she's a bad character. I just feel like you probably already have those characters that I mentioned, those AoE characters, either that can do damage in circular area or in like an AoE style kind of way. You don't really need Mikoto in most cases. Now, how about the other one, which is Misaki? So Misaki is going to be an explosive character with a heavy type on the armor. So she's also going to be a striker, same with Mikoto. She does something a little bit different, alright? At least she has something a little bit new. As you can see, she's 5 costs compared to Mikoto, which is 3 costs, a little bit more expensive, and she can deal up to 1.4k 1400% damage to the target and 2 closest enemies within the circular area. So what she can do is also she confuses them for up to 7 seconds. Now this is going to be pretty interesting. I would love to see how this works out in PvP. Now as far as I know, this is not too crazy in PvP because most of the time this application, the confuse, is going to apply to the most front character, usually like the tank, Tsubaki or the Yuuka. So when you confuse them, they are not going to do a lot of damage to the damage dealer. So in most cases, they are, you know, the confusion is like, it's like meh, you know. Sometimes it can work, but in most cases it is something that's different, at least, right? We don't really have any characters, as far as I know, in Blue Archive right now, global, we don't really have any other characters that can confuse yet. So this is going to be somewhat unique, right? Now the normal skill, every 30 seconds, she will deal up to 600% damage to enemies within the circular area. Not too bad. And you can see she has a passive that increases her CC strength by 26.6%. Now her sub-skill, every time Misaki's EX skill applies confusion to an enemy, she will increase her tankiness. Her defense and evasion goes up by 36% for 20 seconds. Now, there is a problem, however, with Misaki. Now you can see this is 1400% damage in terms of percentage, but if we look at her overall stats, right, as you can see, I'm going to compare her with Aru because I think Aru is a character that a lot of players have, and there's also explosive type. We can look right here. Misaki only have about 5.4k attack, while Aru almost has double her attack. That's number one. Number two, Misaki has very low critical rate and critical damage, right? So she's not really a damage dealer. You can see she's much more of a support, a CC kind of character. So she doesn't really have, like, her damage is really low. As you can see, unlike Aru, which can do up to 4,600 critical damage, Misaki is only 200. Which is kind of crazy, right? So she's not going to be able to be the main focus of the team, so you are usually using her for CC specifically. Now sadly, this skill is also quite niche. It might work in some cases against certain enemies, but when you are pulling this for, let's say, to tackle Grand Assault bosses, right? Let's say you are fighting enemies like Shirokuro or even Bina, right? Those characters, those bosses don't really have minions or anyone for you to confuse. It's just one boss. Alright, so this is where you gotta ask yourself, like, how useful is this for you? Probably in story, sure. Maybe in some EX stages for the events, sure. Outside of that, that's pretty much the extent of where you can use her. She's not going to shine in most of the raid bosses. Now, with that being said, for me personally, I'm still gonna pull for them because these are collab characters. Alright, collecting characters, I think, is also going to be the main focus of the game. Especially, there's a very low chance that both of them will ever come back in Blue Archive. So for me, I'm definitely going to go all in. But hey, I think that's pretty much it for this particular video. I do think though, a lot of people have been saying they wish these characters were stronger. They wish the collab characters were stronger. I think I like it this way. I would rather have a collab character that's not too strong, because that gives Blue Archive a steady point for future new players. Alright, if a collab character is strong or is broken, new players that come in later on will not be able to get them. And so that creates like a FOMO that's like unwarranted, because it does make it so that the new players can never compete with the current players in the game. So I do think that that's bad. So ideally, when collab characters are being released in any gacha games, I tend to favor to them being somewhat mediocre or like balanced or not too strong, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this particular video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. Don't forget to check out Tokyo Trade and Sakura Co using my link in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the pools. Have a nice day. Goodbye.